Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeOnLocation.tv. I'm at Matsuricon 2011, and I have with me the awesome webcomic James Hatton, who also does, a lot of other fun items. So it's been a while since we last saw you at SugoiCon 2010. How are things going for you?
Things have been really good. It's been a very, very busy year. I took a while from convention scening. I do a lot of these local conventions, but I haven't done a lot outside of mostly the Midwest Ohio, Kentucky area. So I've had a lot of time to work on other projects, which I see the list of questions we're going to be addressing them. So I shouldn't ruin the joke here. So please, yes, I have a lot going on.
Okay, in your time in the comic world, what changes have you seen?
What's funny about the comic world is webcomics world is getting bigger, and that's because the print comics world seems to be getting smaller. With DC Comics moving a lot of their stuff digital, with everybody be able to read comics on their iPads and tablets, it's making webcomics so much more accessible and so much bigger than they were when I first started, however long ago that was. It's getting long. A brief funny, I found out that I'm a veteran of webcomics. There was a Veterans of Webcomics panel, and I was invited, and I was like, oh my god, I'm a veteran. I've been in the... Anyway, Vietnam joke. So I would say that webcomics themselves are becoming more accessible. Most definitely, a lot of it has to do with a lot of print media comics moving their material there. So now, whereas maybe a DC Comics or a Superman or something like that is still Superman, we're still in the same format. It's still in the same format that you're going to see in His Likeness or Devil's Panties or Girls with Slingshots, whatever you see. So that makes us seem a lot more credible than we really should be.
Okay, now you write and draw the very popular webcomic In His Likeness, but it's now coming to an end. How's it feeling?
As a note, you guys are getting that exclusive. I only tell people at my table quietly. Right now there's a little countdown clock in the bottom right corner of the comic, because I like to address my audience in weird ways. And In His Likeness, in its standard structure, the 4-panel joke will be coming to an end before the end of the year at a strip 1,000. It's so heavy on my shoulders, but it's actually evolving. In His Likeness as a whole isn't going away, just the 4-panel structure is going away. And In His Likeness will evolve like so many Pokemon into what tentatively is titled In His Likeness Universe.
That's really cool. Now, you also now do and have allthishistory.com. Tell us about that project.
It is, pardon the correct, althistorycomic.com. Alt History. I'm friends with and I work with a couple steampunk conventions in New Jersey, and they asked if I could do something interesting to help promote their Twitter. So I started doing these daily factoids, these wiki quotes, and I would twist them. So it was like Julius Caesar, leader of the Roman Empire, creator of great salads, died this day. And I do that every day. I eventually said, hey, anybody want to draw this? And somebody, dummy, came out of the woodwork and said, yes, I would love to. So now, althistorycomic.com, it happens Monday through Friday, every day. And sometimes it's drawn, sometimes it's just a cute little block of text. When Merlin Piero, my artist, draws, she is hysterical. So yeah, that's one of the new projects that's been on the horizon.
Okay, and in our last interview, you talked about your sflix.com project. How's that been treating you? Now remember, it is a word that should not be pronounced in public.
I understand.
But I just meant for the fans at home. But if you do go to the website that way, you'll get to it.
s-flix.com, which, if you're not aware, features some of the worst movies you'll find streaming on Netflix. That's the whole premise. Sharktopus versus Gatorade. That's the kind of thing I'm going for. I haven't been updating it as much as I'd like. I've been doing I started off so hot and heavy, I would piling out movies. My wife is getting sick of watching movies that feature bad B-rated actors and Lisa Loeb trying to be an 18-year-old. That I had to slow down, and plus I have all these other things going on. So I'm doing about one a month at this point. It's still going strong. I'm still enjoying my crappy movies because I love bad film. I just showed her Troll 2. At the end of it, she didn't know what to make of it. She just kind of sat there silent for a while. But yeah, SFlix is still going strong, just slower, much slower.
Okay. And how are you enjoying your time here at Matsuricon 2011?
These guys have been great. This show has been so fantastic. The amount of guests, the guest list is insane. I'm sure you guys are filming for the next month off of the people that are here. it's nice when a con, and there's very few, Sugoi and Matsuri being the two that and Nebraska to a certain extent, that treat their webcomic guests with the same hand that they handle voice actors and anime enthusiasts and everything. You know, webcomics, what I do isn't anime. It's not. I think some of the mindset and the joking and some of the beats are the same.
Yeah.
But it's not. So to be treated with the same amount of respect you're going to give somebody who, the voice of She Shepherd is here. I fanboyed like a son of a gun. But it's all the great folks who are doing Soul Eater and Italian, all those wonderful shows. And for me to feel part of the family with that's amazing. And I got to give Matsuri all the credit in the world for trying to build up their web audience that way.
That's really great. And is it better than EvilCon?
EvilCon, which another project, evil-con.com, me and a couple of people who have worked in the convention industry for a couple of years are working on a convention dedicated to supervillainry. It is run by, not me, but a nefarious, clandestine group of villains known as the Board, the Bureau of Antagonists, Rogues, and Deviants. And this is going to be a convention that will be happening in New Jersey, featuring, well, we'll just say that all of the villains will be joining into this one spot in this location to fire a magical death ray into the air and try and change the weather or whatever we do. The Board will do. But right now, if you go to evilcon.com, you'll find out, just to build up some street cred, we are doing a lot of, we're doing a lot of little events. We're going to try and do like a band, a rock show and some charity things just to get the name out there, to get the word out there. We're doing our tour of Evil for this year, and then hopefully we'll be announcing when EvilCon is next year.
Okay, cool. And is there any way that fans can keep up with you on the internet, like a Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook?
All of them. I'm soaking in it. Number one, Google owns me. So if Google does it, I'm on it. Everything is RevVoice, REVVOICE. That's my Twitter, my Google Plus, my Facebookin', there's an In His Likeness Facebook group, there's an EvilCon Facebook group. So yeah, anything, just James Hatton, you'll find me. If it's a Canadian lawyer, it's not me. As a matter of fact, go to his website and leave mean comments that you're not the real James Hatton, because he owns jameshatton.com, and I've been cyber stalking him. I've been waiting for like the minute that domain name goes, I'm sweeping in, and I'm gonna have litigation in Canada, which will be ruling.
All right, and is there any upcoming projects or messages you want to get out to fans that we didn't cover?
Have I not listed enough? Right now, my big tour de forces are Alt History comic, and I would really love if you guys check that out. And seeing how In His Likeness comes to its big culmination at this end of this countdown. It's going to be taking a small little break so I can catch my breath, build up the buffer of the new idea, which is much bigger than what I started with 8 years ago. And that number changes every time you ask me. So I think that's pretty much it. I think between Alt History and In His Likeness and the Tour of Evil, I've got enough on my plate. Unless you have something you'd like me to do, you can find me online.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much for coming to Matsuricon 2011 and talking to us on the AnimeLocation.tv. Thank you so much.
Guys.